Bro, we are 8 weeks out.
Yeah, I've been working all week and I'm tired. I don't want to sleep and I want to have fun. It's time for a good time. Cash my check, clean my truck, put on my hat, forgot about work. Sun going down.
This week was, I felt like it was personally just a mental test, given how this week started. So I'll kind of talk about squats on Monday. I actually planned on posting a YouTube video early on in the week on Monday after my squat session because it was a lot of external variables that I really should have just listened to myself and what my body, what my mind was telling me, and postponed the start of my 8-week out training, my 8 weeks out, my week 3 of the block. I should have started on Tuesday in retrospect, but I'm very proud of myself for not posting the rant that I went on. I still have it on my camera after that squat session, but yeah, just to give a little bit of a backstory, I didn't really recover too well over the weekend. I don't think I played 18 holes of golf on Sunday in about, the real temperature was 47 degrees. The real feel was like 27 due to all the wind. And I was very cognizant of staying hydrated. And as soon as I got home from golfing, laying down, not really doing it, like stretching, staying hydrated, eating, and getting my rest for the remainder of the day. I played with a golf cart too. I didn't walk the whole course, but it was just, I have a feeling that strain definitely compiled onto what I did on Monday. So got up Monday morning for work a little bit earlier than I usually do. I had to go present 4 1-hour-long presentations, essentially for the whole day. I thought I was going to have time to eat in between presentations, but I actually only had a protein shake and about a liter of water throughout about the 6-hour portion of that. Got out of those presentations and essentially went in to finish my day out at work, and then got home and ate almost 2 hours before I started training. So my meal was a little bit bigger. I also compiled it with my typical pre-workout meal, which lately, especially like on top end squats, has not been doing me very well in terms of fueling me and making me feel strong and feeling comfortable. I usually feel very bloated. So I think I've ruled that out, but I was just heavily fatigued going into squats. I felt like I was going to throw up based on the bloat that I had. It was a lot of just different things. My body was screaming, my head was screaming, hey, take the day and do it tomorrow. But being 8 weeks out, I talked about it, is you gotta hit, the rubber has to hit the road when you're 8 weeks out. So I was trying not to make any excuses and thought I could go in and execute. I was pretty wrong. I was warming up, and warm-ups were feeling okay, but as soon as I got to like 4:45, anytime, so when I squat, I usually unrack, set my feet, make sure everything's good to go, knees are locked, and then I look up to start my squat to get my brace and begin my descent. But anytime I'd look up, I thought I was just going to yak with the pressure of the bar on my upper back, the way my stomach was feeling, especially with the belt bracing it too. So went from 445 to 495, and it didn't feel any better. It quite honestly felt worse. and my anticipated number this week was going to be 525 for 3. Loaded 525, got under it, go to walk out the squat. I couldn't even look up. Like, I knew if I looked up, throw up was going to come out, and I probably would just retire at that point. It would just be so embarrassing. But, yeah, I mean, so I braced, got 1 rep. I don't think depth was there. It was not a good rep. But it was more, I was using that rep as a gauge of, do I rack or do I, try to muscle this one out? After the 1, I was like, it's not worth it. It is either going to fold me or it is going to force me to throw up. So I was extremely frustrated just because everything was screaming to me to take the day off, get back at it on Tuesday and just start the week then. But, I was just being a little bit, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but I was just very upset. And I recorded about a 10-minute rant afterwards, just expressing that frustration. And I had the full intention of actually posting that video, and I just made the last minute call not to post it. Just slept on it. Woke up the next morning and I was like, listen, man, we just got cleared. Like, at least we're not 2 weeks out, 3 weeks out. It's not ideal that this happened, but it's just the nature of the beast. And sometimes you just got to learn your lesson. So, took the lesson on that one. Went to bed that night and I said, listen, like this session does not leave today. Like, once I wake up in the morning, Monday did not happen. We got to continue on the training week. So went in on Tuesday and just the main focus was we need to execute like a national level lifter. Like, everything needs to be to standard, and we need to be cognizant of our external factors and take this seriously. Like, this isn't joking around time. This isn't, oh, let's see if this works or doesn't work. This is for real. So locked in, took 345 for a top single, and I thought it moved really well. Very confident with it. I definitely think in the week 4 or at the start of the new block, I am actually probably going to remove my wrist straps. I felt some things on my secondary bench day and even tonight on my primer bench day that leads me to believe that I actually think I'm a lot stronger without wrist straps. So whether I have to sit down this weekend and dictate if I'm going to drop all of my top lifts down to singles for the week 4 and just put up a crazy training total, or if I'm going to retake my doubles on squat and deadlift again. But I think I hit 320 for 3 on bench after that 345. It didn't move the same as the 325 did in the week 4 in the last block. So I'm not really tripping over it, but I do think I'm starting to figure some things out that some small tweaks I can make that are going to really elevate my bench outside of where it is right now. Rested Wednesday, came back last night, which was Thursday, and again, it was the same type of mentality. Is like, we have to lock in and execute. Like, there's no other option. I was projecting about a 540 double, 540, 545 double. I was warming up, 445 and 485 moved extremely well. My technique was just locked in, so I actually jumped that anticipated number up to 555. I took 520 as my last warm-up. It moved pretty well. It gave me the confidence to make the 20 key jump up to 555 and see what was in the tank. My week 4 in the last block was a 560 for 2, and in the last meet I did 567 for my second attempt. Yeah, my second attempt. So my all-time gym PR is 575. So it'd be taking 555 in a week 3 double. Granted, it looked heavy, and it was heavy. I was more or less testing my jump range. How does a 20 key jump feel, and testing my CNS. And I think right now is like, for me, deadlifts never really click around this time, and I'm actually showing a lot more strength than I ever have this early on in prep. Usually my deadlifts kind of like click in the last 4 weeks, but they seem to be clicking a lot earlier, and I think we're starting to see a little bit of a trend that we're gonna start to see some pretty big numbers here much earlier on, which is good, and it's moving at a good pace. And the thing I want to say about last night's deadlift session was that technique was like, it was clean. Like that would have been 3 white lights, no hitching, no up and down movement, didn't lose, like wasn't even close to losing grip. Just overall, a lot of my accessory movements that I've implemented in this prep are showing to pay off for deadlift. So just excited to ride that wave. And like I said, as I sit down this weekend and write my week 4, I'm gonna kind of make that decision if I'm gonna move to singles or if I am gonna take doubles again next week, just to see what we've got, and then take the final 6 weeks to go into nationals. But we'll see on that. Today is Friday, so this is my last training day of the week. Got all my accessory movements, my primer bench day in, got a lot of my mobility and my core work in. So overall, just feeling really good. And today actually marks 7 weeks out from weigh-ins, and then tomorrow marks 7 weeks out from nationals. Found out we're gonna be competing in the afternoon, which is the first time in almost like 4 years where I haven't had to wake up at like 3 or 4 in the morning to check my weight to make sure I'm good. I have a feeling I'm gonna be able to sleep in a little bit this go around, which I'm actually really excited for. Like I've had one meet where I've competed in the afternoon session, or like even had the opportunity to compete in the afternoon session, and I ended up bombing out of it. But that's another story. That was, I don't even want to talk about that because there's just a lot of different things going on there. But this go around, I'm actually really excited to find out when I do compete, because I work all day and I usually train at night. So it's usually, I'm going to assume that it's going to be a much better transition this go around, that I do have time to eat breakfast, maybe eat an early lunch, and then get into the meet. I'm really excited, just how everything's kind of fallen into place right now. And as I've said in previous videos, is that we still have 7 full weeks ahead of us. Like I could be feeling good right now, could be hitting all these numbers right now, but there's so much that needs to be executed, so much that I need to stay on top of in order to make sure this is gonna be a successful meet. So I'm gonna wrap this one up here. Went on a little bit of a rant for this one. I know it's been kind of a similar format of my videos the last few times, and like this week I was like, I need to film. I really wanted to film a day in the life, just to show what time I'm getting up, leaving to work, getting home from work, what I'm doing before my lifting, and then when I'm done with lifting, what I'm doing leading up going to bed. So expect that type of video maybe in the week 1. We're gonna take the week 4 for what it is. Either way, I'm gonna push hard next week, most likely, unless my body tells me differently tomorrow. But I usually write out my weeks on Sundays to mentally prepare for the week. So we're gonna see what we've got. But yeah, if you've made it this far, I appreciate it. If you do me a huge favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, share this video. It'd be greatly appreciated. And like I said, we're 7 weeks out. These next 7 weeks are gonna be like between the week 4 and then the whole build up to nationals. Like I've got travel planned, really cool things to celebrate, and overall, just this is gonna be my biggest nationals yet. So just very excited. So follow along on the journey. We're gonna keep posting these real type videos where I'm just kind of rambling about what's going on in my life, how training's going, and what I'm doing to prepare myself to be the strongest version of myself. But we're gonna continue to keep posting, keep getting after it, and we've got some big goals, big numbers, just so much in store, not only for this meet but for this year, and I'm looking forward to documenting all of it. So thank you for tagging along, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.